Hey, kia ora, Helen Brahms here, coming live from Sun City in Arizona. Hope you're all having a super fantastic, sparkling Serenity Sunday. Oh my gosh, it has been an awesome day today. But first of all, what did you do today to relax? What did you do? Did you go out for a walk? Did you have a picnic? Did you stay inside and read or watch movies or just hang out with family? What did you do today to relax? So how was your relaxation day today? We, of course, started after the dog park. We did our part one from the dog park after we gotten back in the car. And then we went off and it was more of a drive time today rather than a mystery drive. I just didn't really feel in the mood for a mystery drive. I'd had a very intense 4 hours yesterday with my friend, 4.5 hours with my friend yesterday when we were on our Zoom call, just talking about all sorts of things, and got a lot of, I've got a full page of notes here on things to check out, things to think about, and that sort of thing, because we just talked backwards and forwards, and ideas came out and thoughts came out, and so I wrote some of them down, and it was really weird because my phone kept popping up every now and again with just two numbers, and I got two numbers on it appeared on my screen, and so I tell my friend what they were, and she'll tell me what they meant. So that was kind of cool. I learned about numerology yesterday a little bit. So that was kind of fun. But there was a lot of stuff from yesterday that we were talking about that just played over in my head last night, even though I slept soundly. I woke up in the same position I went to sleep in, which was awesome. I love it when I do that. Although the problem is then moving, because nothing's moved that you know of in the middle of the night. So it's sort of like everything's a little stiff, a little sore, and you just got to sort of like just be gentle with yourself. And so then I thought, after talking about the different types of breakfasts this morning, I want a breakfast burger. And so we were close to the 303, so we hopped onto that and went down to the only Carl's Jr. that I knew in the area. And when I looked at the map, it was the closest one to go to. So we got there, and it was after 11 o'clock, and I asked for the breakfast burger combo. And the guy turns around and says, "What burger?" And he starts naming off the different burgers. He says, "No, the breakfast burger." "Oh, we're not serving breakfast right now." I said, "I am aware of that." I said, "But on your all-day menu, you have a breakfast burger." "No, we don't have that." Not well. I was like, I can't be bothered arguing. I said, "Fine, I will go elsewhere." But I said, I still got to go through the drive-through because I got a car behind me. And so I just drove straight through the drive-through, and we ended up going over to Burger King and just getting a burger and fries from there for brunch, because it was like close to 11:30. And so we got that. We came back here, and got inside, and what did we do? And we had breakfast. We had brunch with a pup sitting next to me, and she got kind of brave. She got brave today. She actually kind of moved her head. She normally puts her head here and looks at my phone, just looks at it, and then when I look at her, she turns her head back. But this day she kind of went in a little bit. I'm like, "What are you doing?" And she just, nothing. She is so funny. She is hilarious. And I had some messages that had come through that I thought, I'll quickly answer those, and then I'll get on with my day. So I quickly answered those, got them taken care of, got another couple of things taken care of. So I actually got a lot more crossed off my list. And then I was just sort of like, my head is like spinning with all this information. I still had that headache. And so I was just like, I'm just going to go sit down. I need an action movie. So it was like 3 o'clock by the time I actually made it to the recliner, after I got everything done that needed to get done. Not everything that needed to get done got done. I crossed some more items off my list. That's all I can say, because I was like, maybe I could do this and that. And my head's going, yeah, no. So I went and sat and pulled my movies out on the DVD and had a look through them. I came across Firewall with Harrison Ford. I haven't watched that in a long time. That'll keep me going and keep my mind and help me, because when I watch action movies, the stuff that's going on in my head tends to quieten down a little bit, so I can hear it easier. I don't know if that makes sense to some of you, but that's with action movies, it can do that. But when I'm reading, and at night before I go to bed, it has to be romance, because that just shuts the brain down, or it shuts the conscious portion of the brain down enough to sleep. So we do that. But yeah, so it's just been a nice quiet day. And then a friend of mine called me who I hadn't spoken to for a while, and I got caught up with her. That was not a 4-hour conversation. It was just over half an hour, but then I had to go because I had to go walk Zeph, and we just got back from our walk. So we've had a nice quietish type, well, just a very easy day today, a very easy day. So I'm kind of happy about today because my headache is now gone. We've had a couple of good walks in there. Zeffie had a great time at the park today, although she did tend to favor one of her legs again. So I'm going to have to keep an eye on that and limit the amount of time that she has at a dog park for a while she builds up the muscles of being able to run so much every day, because normally we're here just walking around. So I'm going to start going to the dog park. Normally we just do walks around the park, and on the weekend we go to the dog parks. But at the RV resort, they don't have a dog park, so you've got to drive to it. And this one that we like is about 30 minutes up the road, I think it is. So it's going to be one of these. And fortunately, they have really big floodlights up there on the dog park area. So I think what we're going to do is start going up there like every other night and letting her run around and putting a time cap on how much she can run around, just so she can build her muscles and her endurance back up, so she's not pulling muscles all the time. The poor puppy. She didn't have to do any. She did some fast running today, but she didn't do any of her fast turns where she was almost laying down on the ground as she turned. So she didn't do any of those today, thankfully. But after a bit of a chase, she did end up hobbling a little bit. And I was like, yeah. And that was when we left. So my goal is to get her out of there before she starts hobbling. Hopefully, fingers crossed. So that's what I've decided we're going to do in the evenings, is we're going to start doing that every other night. Go up. So we'll probably do like Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays, and then Sunday we'll go in the mornings. So she'll go again tomorrow night. So we'll probably do it that way and build it up to where we can go up there on a nightly basis. Actually, probably won't be every night, depending on how hard the work is that day. How the brain power is after it, because we're starting to gear up and get busy with the holiday season and everything else. And so it's going to be a lot of fun. But anyway, that's been our day. So now I'm off to might go watch another movie. Maybe I'll go do the chick flick now, because I didn't do the chick flick earlier. I just went straight into an action movie. But there's a lot of stuff going on in my brain right now. And it's sort of like, yeah, where am I going to take it? And so I got little post-its starting to appear. And I haven't even set up my planner for next week. I mean, that's how crazy it is today with my brain. But yeah, I have a lot to do. But I'm happy because I finally ordered my 2022 planner. So I'm very happy about that. And that should be here tomorrow. So I'll be able to take the rest of the month to get that set up ready for next year, which will be awesome. Going back to a format that I used ages ago, because I'm starting to get so many with my clients that I'm getting them, plus the work that I'm doing. There's different groups that need different stuff done. So this is, it's called Planner Pad, and you can put the projects across the top with what needs to be done underneath. Then you pick out, okay, what are the ones that have the priority, and they go into the one, and you kind of funnel it down into your day planner area. So it's kind of cool that way. And I'm sort of like, yeah, I need to get back into that one again, because I kind of enjoyed that one. It kept me on track easier than writing stuff in my planner. So it's kind of cool, because I can see at a week, this is the stuff I have to accomplish this week for each of these goals. Here's the and then prioritize them down below, and then put the time blocks in to get them done. So I'm looking forward to getting that done. So that'll be a project for the rest of well, yeah, we can kind of do something like that at the moment. I think I'll figure it out. You have to, I mean, I love planners, but you got to find the one that works for you. You got to find the one that works for me. So, and people go, oh, I love this planner because da, 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 da. And I get in there and go, oh, yeah, that looks, and I we'll look at it online, and I go, yeah, it doesn't look quite like it'll work for me. And I know there are some fantastic planners out there, but you have to find the one that is right for you, for how you work, how you attack projects, how you work your projects, how you complete your projects. You've got to find the right planner that's going to fit for you with what information you want to put in there, how you want it to put in there. So I need something that can handle several different several different clients across the top with the different tasks that need to be done underneath them for when I'm doing research and that sort of thing. So this one this time I went for the big one rather than the small personal one because I have a lot of stuff. So I'm going to feel more organized this year. I'm planning on feeling more organized. So my 2022 planning is in place. Well, in place as in the fact that it's getting done. So we will see what happens with it. And yeah, it'll still be post-it notes everywhere. I can tell you that. It's still going to be post-it notes work well for me in planners. So my planner page has got post-it notes all over it. So that's tomorrow morning's planning session. I now have a planning session in my mornings. So I've managed to squeeze that in before my morning call. I can now put in a planning time. So it's kind of cool. Can't wait. But anyway, I gotta go get dinner ready. And somebody's looking for her TREATSs. Yes, and as soon as I open the fridge, she'll start like, oh, where's mine? I want my treats. Anyway, go have a super fantastic, sparkling rest of your Serenity Sunday, and we'll catch you guys back here tomorrow. Oh, and Kathy put her tree up, and then spent the rest of the day trying to keep her cat Panda out of it. Oh, I have to tell you, that reminds me of a great holiday story. So one year we had a cat. It was called Fluffy. And she was a fluffy black and white, not as long as a Persian. I called her part Persian because she had the fluffy fur, but not as long as a Persian cat would have. But her name was Fluffy, and she knew her own mind, that cat did. And when my parents had a live, we normally did this fake tinsel tree and would decorate and all that. But this particular year, my parents went for a live tree, and I don't recall having a live tree before that one. So it may have been our very first live tree. And if I remember correctly, it's probably because Mum has this really cute little potted plant that she uses as a tree now. But growing up, as far as I can recall, that was the only live tree we had. So we did all the decorating on it and all that. It looked fabulous. And we loved the smell of the pine that was in the house. And you remember in New Zealand, it's summer. So you get this beautiful pine smell in the house in summertime and that sort of thing. And Fluffy went up to, would go out and come back, and there'd be, and you look at we're sitting at the dinner table and you go into the living room and there'd be these clumps of pine needles on the floor around the base of the tree. And like, what the heck? And then we caught Fluffy one day de-needling the tree. She would go take a mouthful of pine needles, pull it off the tree, shake her head, and then spit them out on the floor. And she basically de-needled the two lower, yes, we had this bare patch at the bottom, which was two lower tiers of the tree were completely bare of pine needles, but the ornaments were still hanging there, and they were little colored balls hanging on cotton, and they were still there. But she had pulled all the pine needles off the two lower tiers of this real tree that we had and left them in clumps on the floor. And there's nothing we could do to keep her off it, but that was her thing. For some reason, she did not like the pine needles on. Well, that was as far as she could reach as well. But yeah, so she stripped the two bottom tiers of the Christmas tree of pine needles. And we couldn't figure out how to stop her from doing it. So yeah, so we had a very pretty tree from the third tier at the bottom up. The bottom tier all bare with the ornaments still hanging on it. So, and she never played with the ornaments. She just stripped them of the pine needles. So that was one family memory. So thank you, Kathy, for reminding me about that one, with telling me that you put your tree up today and then spent the rest of the day keeping Panda out of it. That reminded me of Fluffy de-needling the pine tree. It was so funny. My mother was not impressed. But anyway, looking back, it was hilarious about how she did that. But anyway, go out, have a super fantastic, sparkling evening, and we'll catch you guys back here bright and early tomorrow morning for Magic Monday. Hey, Konara.